Hi guys, yes, I'm live, and some of you will not be here because I usually do this in the evening. Okay, we're going to do the live for Cancer for February. Now, generally speaking, I do pre-record them. There was a time where I literally did all the videos live, and I haven't done that in a while. So there is a pocket of them I'm going to be doing live for those of you who are here. A very warm welcome. If you're wanting to make a booking, the link is directly below. Yeah, well, I haven't done afternoon ones for a while, so I thought I'd do afternoon ones. So we're going to do Cancer. Now, again, I do have a separate link that is for Twin Flame Alchemist Union. I'm a psychic medium. I've been tuning into the energy for you guys, and Cancer, this month coming is super interesting for you. I feel that energetically you guys have really changed, and I feel a lot of it is to do with power struggles. I do feel like there is a point where January has been really interesting. We've felt quite suppressed. Ah, cool. Yeah, good old Australia. Okay, so you guys are feeling super suppressed, and this has been a long-term frequency. Now, at the moment, the nodes are in Cancer and Capricorn, and that's moving through to March. So in astrology, you find there has been a lot of feminine energies. There's been a lot of karmic energies when it comes to if you've separated, you're dealing with mother figures, you're looking at the aspects of family. That energy with the partial solar eclipse was almost like a manifestation of what we spiritually were wanting, really moving into the beginning of the month. And then the total eclipse was very much, okay, what do we need to get rid of? What is not balanced? What do we need to physically do in order to bring this balance about to move forward? February, some of that meditation is going to be coming through. It's going to be easy up to 8 weeks, I'm seeing. And it's more that the energy of moving into your own frequency of what you're wanting to manifest in can take up to 6 months. Now, I am seeing pockets of energy where we're going to be doing sort of very sharp changes. And it sort of feels as though there's 3 pockets during the year where we're going to find a feeling that we're moving direct. January isn't really giving us the clarity to do that. It's almost like you can see basic scenarios of what you can potentially achieve, but no real clarity as to what the outcome of those situations is going to be. So it can be very difficult to say, hey, cemented, this is what I'm doing. So it's not bad that you haven't gained complete clarity on that. It's more, it's an aspect of the astrology that's really hindering you from having complete clarity as to how that's going to look. So it can really make you feel very frustrated with yourself, because you're very, when you've made up your mind, you've made up your mind. And it's very hard to change your mind once you've cemented that. I do feel many of you have made decisions as to what vibrationally feels correct for you. But at the same time, it can be you don't know what the outcome's going to be and when that's going to happen. So welcome, New York. So you still really, it doesn't even feel like you're pussyfooting. You're treading very carefully as to how you're going to apply your energy, what information you're going to release, how you're going to communicate your truth. I do feel many of you are dealing with external sources, but you're trying to do it in a very compassionate, different way. But at the same time, it can be really triggering you. Although you're thinking it's a you problem, some of it isn't. Some of it directly is external. So even if you are to directly deal with your side of the fence and, you know, adhere to what you think is authentic, what you feel is correct, you are going to feel the push and pull connected to different dynamics around you. And that's all of us collectively, but very strongly for your path moving into February. I feel you have a lot of balls in the air when it comes to many areas of your life. And I do feel you're looking at a lot of, how do I put it? I'm seeing accommodation, I'm seeing family, I'm seeing finances, I'm seeing health. And it's almost like all of it's having a do-over to create a balance in order to physically move forward. What you're not seeing at the moment is, you know to the truth, to the core, that you have to see something through. You're trying to do something in a different manner. You don't see what the outcome is going to be, but at the same time, you're choosing to do something in a way that you know is correct, but you don't know what the outcome is. But I do feel spiritually you're choosing to move forward. Regardless of what the outcome is going to be, you know you actually have to go down a certain path. So you're doing it in a way that you feel is spiritually correct. Interestingly enough, regardless of the fact that you can't see what's going to happen, you are trusting in your intuition connected to this. You're very connected in, which is good because the nodes are in Cancer, but they are going backwards. So for you, gaining that relationship back with your intuition, some of you are seeing things more clearly. So you're really coming to a place where you're saying, right, no, I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm not going to allow other people's influences to directly tell me what I can and can't do. You do wonder what's going to happen. It's almost like you've had to rewrite yourself so many times, but you're getting tired of putting many hats on for different people. This can be legalities. This can be trying to create healthy boundaries around people that expect you to be different things that you physically don't wish to be any longer. But you're able to do that with such poise, but it can be a frustrating scenario, but you're doing it for your side of the fence, not for the other. So external parties are going to think you're doing the right thing because it's what they want you to do, but you're directly doing it to keep the peace, but it's temporary. And it's to save the external from getting triggered, because you're really trusting in your third eye. And you're like, right, I've read this recipe. I know how this scenario is going to go. You know the direct people involved. You know their frequency. So you're like, okay, this is what the recipe is. Now, I'm not going to add fuel to the fire. I'm going to deal with you in the way that I educationally so have gained the knowledge. And I'm going to use this to my advantage. And I do feel it's going to really balance out if you do it in this way, regardless of if you don't know how it's going to go. Really trust your intuition when it comes to this. You're being authentic. You know how these people are, and this can be in relation to your communication. You're choosing to use your throat chakra in a very correct way, in a very cautious way. And the funny thing is, it's the hats that people want you to wear and the games they play, and you're not playing. But you're playing their game, but they're playing themselves. So you've really seen through the BS, and you're very cautious about how you deal with things. But you're learning as you go and gaining information, okay? When it does come to something you're going to learn this month, and this is for those of you who are studying, as well as any lessons physically that are going to come to you this month moving into February, it's almost like some of the control is out of your hands and you're becoming comfortable with it, because you can actually see where people are bringing themselves to their own physical demise, okay? Some of it, in reality, is not your side of the fence, and you don't have control over that, and you don't quite know what the whole scenario is going to look like, but at the same time, it's being comfortable in the delay and the hangman energy, and you're gracefully standing in that and saying that's okay. You're also applying your energy in a more playful manner to keep yourself sane during the transition. And it's part of a lesson for you to help balance your energy regardless of the tides directly externally to you. And I feel it's really helping you. It's helping you grow spiritually. At the same time, if you are, upskilling and, how do I put it? If you are in the education sector where you're learning something and you're gaining a skill, some of you don't quite know how it's going to be. It may feel out of balance and you're reassessing what you're actually studying. And it might be that you shift in study format of what you're going to master in, because it doesn't feel it's in alignment with you at the moment. But I do feel this is a very temporary energy. But I do feel more at a spiritual realm. If you keep the energy playful, it's going to help you move forward energetically. In your employment sector, a lot of you, there is a delay, okay? But a lot of you have put the work in. You're really going to get the benefits out. And I do feel if you have put your heart, blood, sweat and tears in it, you're really going to get the benefits. And I do feel this by July. Interestingly enough, it is an aspect of your awakening and owning your power, and you're really manifesting things in. Providing you are doing things that you're passionate about, this is really going to benefit you. Now, at the total eclipse, the energy does denote endings of ways of doing things and new beginnings. So at the same time, this can be at a financial level, especially being the year of the pig. You're going to find that by July, this is really going to bode well for you, but you're going to need to dot your P's and Q's and keep going and moving forward. Try not to let your energy get triggered by any adversity you're currently dealing with, because at a financial level and at an employment level, you're really going through a lot of healing and you're changing ways of doing things. Some of you may even look at businesses and wanting to break free from the old paradigms of employment and the things you're doing. You're wanting to do something different, but you're wanting your foundation to be incredibly strong. So the strength is coming from within you, and it's because you've had things taken from you that you're realizing what your entitlements are. Some of you on the home front may feel that you're hindered and unable to work. There can be other things you can do from a home-related environment that can be creative, that can be something that is more in alignment with what your life currently is, that's going to work better. There is a delay connected to those of you who are wanting to return to work, but I do feel it is connected to divine timing. It can be due to external contracts, legalities, health. But again, it is a temporary transition and it will be moving forward. And I'm almost seeing a slingshot effect, that you're very cluey and you're starting to see things moving forward, and it is going to move you forward very quickly. So any delays, especially from November, December in 2018, then January, it's very normal for that frequency to be as such. Definitely connected to astrology. Now, as I said, moving into the year of the pig, yes, it bodes better financially. If you've had your spiritual awakening and you've done the work on yourself and you know what you're moving towards to achieve, it's going to help you move that to that next level. Your health, moving in February, you're going to note what's making you feel happy and what's not, and you're really going to remove those energies around you. So if it's directly connected to vibrational people that are just out of alignment, you're going to move away from them. But also remember, the unseen is you are able to wear many hats, but you're not. It might come to a head where you just can't, you know, where you do this for a while, you know how it's going to go, and this could be, you know, you're going to blow up, or, you know, they'll bring themselves undone. At a very separate level, I do feel some of you might be, you know, looking at your health, changing your diet, wanting to connect to a better vibration for yourself, having a health check. Some of you might be having procedures, etc. But after this point, I do feel once your vibration is in alignment, I do feel that the abundance is going to be coming through, but you need to prioritize yourself, because at the end of the day, connected to your health and vitality with your vibration, the joy and stability is in reverse. So this can be due to external situations, or it can be something vibrationally you've been feeling due to the transits, but this is shifting. Providing you prioritize yourself and you have that self-worth, the financial aspect of things in the abundance sector is really going to help move you physically, spiritually forward. Other people external to you, I feel you're looking at them with love. I do feel you might be dealing with one child in particular, or looking at your childhood. I also feel you're seeing yourself through other people's eyes, but at the same time, try not to critique yourself too hard. I do feel you'll only be mixing with people who are at that vibration, and the ones, I do feel you're keeping the others at a distance, but it's more because of a connection. And this can be, again, co-parenting. It could be, you know, siblings, partners, however it be. You're keeping it balanced, but you're mixing and doing things in a way that, how do I put it? In a way that it's going to be vibrationally connected to you. But there is a lot of love coming your way. For those of you, I do feel during the next full moon, there is going to be more balance connected to that, but you're trying to do things by the book, okay? Some people, you understand the reasons how they show love and why they do things, but other people, it feels as though they concoct things in their head and they make things that they're not, and you can't control that. It's their side of the fence, it's not your side of the fence, and you're lacking inspiration connected to some. Some of you are really choosing a path you're on, and it's interesting because the love reading's separate. Next month I will be releasing them earlier. This month they're coming out on the 1st, but I have pulled a romance card for you guys. Some of you that have moved out of one path and into another, you know, external situations, you're assessing them and you're trying to keep the balance, especially if you're co-parenting. I feel you're trying to keep the peace, but it is becoming difficult. But you're multitasking at a very high level. Some of you can be going through legalities connected to family. And you're trying to keep this as friendly as possible. You're trying to do it in the correct manner, and you're going to accept whatever the outcome is. You almost feel it's destiny. So if those of you who are directly dealing with karmic energies, breakups, it can be finance, it can be separation of homes, whatever it was that cycled out and ended at a separate level, I feel that if you're going into a battle, so to speak, it's win or lose, but you're going to accept whatever it's going to be. For those of you who are dealing with family, it's like you feel like you can't win no matter what you do. So you're just accepting it the way it is. You're accepting directly what it is. Like, some of them don't make you feel grounded. And also, some of you know that it's more to do with them than you. So you're trying not to take it personal. You're trying to have your own life very separate. You win some, you lose some. It's like, try not to get involved in the conflict, which I feel you're not. I feel it's coming towards you over you going towards it. But being mindful is going to help you keep grounded when it does come to the family members. There are some lessons directly connected to that. But again, because the nodes are in Cancer, I do feel it's coming up heavily for you guys. And it can be the way you guys perceive things. I am also seeing an anniversary coming up for some of you that is connected to a person passing. And this has been coming through with a lot of the readings. So energies, with the moon energy, you'll find the spirit world can be closer to you. So it can be near the full moon and the new moon. I do feel the energy coming through where you have guides around you, protecting you, but helping you understand how to deal with situations and families, bringing closure in situations with families, because the situation hadn't been balanced, so it can be at a very slight level. They're coming in to directly guide you and support you through the transition. Those of you who are wanting family and, you know, you're waiting for divine connections, divine union, again, it's anything that's coming to you in a 3D level, it's there to assist you to reach that point. So adhere to anything directly in front of you that's going to help you balance so that it can move you forward. At a travel level, many of you are knowing that you're growing. You're releasing things and allowing things to come in. So you're very connected. You can also know that, you know, again, by July, whatever you're moving towards in a manifestation setting, and I'm feeling you're really setting the tone. It's like February feels like January for you guys, where you're hitting the ground running. You've got a lot of balls in the air and you're trying to make some movement. Although you're keeping your cards close to your chest, I feel you just know what the outcome's going to be, but there's just that time delay. You're being very critical towards yourself. So the travel aspect of things for you guys spiritually feels more so that you have outgrown an old shell and you're moving towards the next chapter in your life, and you're wanting to leave the old toxicity behind spiritually, and you're wanting to get to a place where you're catching up. Now, this catch up can be something where you're being critical towards yourself, that you wanted to achieve more than you have done so far, but you're going to achieve it in a smaller pocket of time. But you're going to need to really gauge how your frequency is, you know, if you're fatigued, so that you can keep the equilibrium going. Don't burn the candle at both ends. In a left or right section in your life, if you're stuck on the fence in any given dynamic, I feel meditation being with, it's interesting because this card come up sideways and it's, you know, feeling alone. I feel you've learnt through something you've been through, that be it you're with someone or be it you're away, this connection is always there. So you feel no matter what you do, you keep circling back, and this can be for divine unions. I don't feel you have an issue with that. I feel it's external situations that's the issue, but you're also choosing your battles wisely. You're trying to do things in a very different format. And again, I do see you wishing that things that you're trying to achieve by July were done earlier, but it's the way it stands and you're accepting that. You're also knowing that you have the power to make these things happen. and you're trying to get it done in a timely fashion, and you also know it's making you stronger than what you had been before. Okay, your Venus house. This is interesting. I feel both you and another person has come into balance. A lot of your wounds have been off your chest. This can be communication for some of you with a love interest, with a twin, with a soulmate. I do feel whatever you're getting off your chest, it's very healing. It's an aspect of your healing as well. I do feel much of your life you've been very critical towards yourself, but at the same time, I feel some of these things need to happen, releasing core wounds in order to have your success and your growth. So it's temporarily delayed, but it is moving. And it's, you know, if you do reach connection with a person you've lost touch with, it generally comes back where it's needing to happen so that you can tie up loose ends and you can have that spiritually move forward. These wounds that are coming through, I feel they will be coming through on your fence as well as the other party's fence. But I do feel by you opening up and slowly taking your guard down, it's really going to benefit the divine connection. So the success and the growth, don't connect the dots that there's perfect, okay? So when we say perfect, it's like, no, I want to do X, Y, and Z before I make contact. Or I want to do X, Y, and Z before I can have a balanced connection. Relationships are for good and bad. They're the good, the bad, the ugly. That's the way it goes. Accepting yourself under that status, that you take that person and they take you, especially when it comes to your family, win or lose, it might be they're quite rigid in their thinking and they don't make you feel as centered, but you may feel this is an aspect of a block that you had that you're releasing. Because if you can unconditionally accept yourself, it's going to balance you where other people will look at you differently because it's not directly vibrationally affecting you. You're on your own axis. Some aspects of forgiveness are going to be worked on together, but much of it comes from inside. So a lot of times when we're trying to be open with other people, it's very hard to allow their opinion to shape us when we don't believe it ourselves. So I am feeling as though a lot of it was coming internally from you in a pain body experience, that you were trying to heal that in order to be open to accept what other people were saying. So unless you believed it, it didn't feel real. Does that make sense? Any questions while I'm here? And I'll move on to the next video. As soon as I've done these, I'll open the other ones. Any questions for the zodiac sign of Cancer? Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. No. The next zodiac sign I'm going to be doing is Scorpio. I'll take a quick break and I'll jump back on. And if you are wanting to make a booking, the link will be directly below. I have also connected the PayPal link. If you wish to donate, feel free to. Otherwise, I will see you when I'm back. Feel free after the fact to write any questions and I'll come back and I will respond. And all the likes and the shares do actually help the video being found for the zodiac sign of Cancer. See you soon.